If you're a coach stuck below 20K per month, then it's likely that you're making 3 huge mistakes that's costing you a lot of time and money. And I say this because I've helped over 130 plus entrepreneurs around the world scale massively in the last couple of years. For example, Manjit here to 64K a month, Ria here to 91K per month, Chris Chow here to 100K per month. And there's dozens more where that came from. But let me actually share with you the specific mistakes that people are oftentimes making at this lower level that you have to break. Now, the first mistake is that you just lack consistent, controllable traffic. Simply put, people don't know that you exist. Now, why might that be? Well, let's actually think about what it is that a lot of people that are below 20K per month are trying to do in order to build their business. One popular method that early stage business owners are doing is that they'll just rely too heavily on cold outreach. They'll try to send out 50 to 100 messages every single day to strangers online, and they think that is alone sufficient to be able to scale their company. But in the grand scheme of things, this is not only a very small amount of traffic, but it's also very cold traffic. Most of the people who you send those cold messages to won't even open those messages. There's also a lot of entrepreneurs that are relying on just organic content. Maybe you're sharing a bunch of videos on YouTube, or you're sharing reels on Instagram. Those things are actually really great. You want to do this because it allows you to be able to build more trust. And for me, I'm a big fan of YouTube, obviously. Nothing is better at getting people to think that I'm an expert than if they were to watch my YouTube videos. However, if you are relying on organic content to be the way that you're actually getting new eyeballs, new traffic, then you are probably going to be staying broke for a long time. Because the algorithms on these social media platforms either take very, very long for you to be able to generate a net new audience, or you won't be able to generate an audience at all because those platforms want you to actually pay for traffic. Specifically when it comes to Facebook or Instagram. At this point, those channels are only going to really be able to give you eyeballs if you're willing to pay for it. Generating an organic audience in those particular channels is super, super hard, and it'll take significant amounts of time to do so. So organic content is once again great if you already have an audience and you're just trying to get them to warm up to you and eventually book a call. But if you're looking at it as a way to generate net new traffic, it's not the way. The third method that people sometimes use if they're at the 20K per month or below level is just waiting for referrals, hoping and praying that one of your existing clients or someone in your network will just say, hey, here's my friend, they want your help. And listen, these are the best people to close. They're very easy to close because they've already come recommended, but there's not going to be very many of them, right? And referrals inherently are so unreliable, you have no control over them, that if that is your main lead channel, then you're going to have zero predictability over your income on a month-to-month level, which is pretty stressful, right? Especially if you have payroll or expenses. If you don't even know how many leads you're going to be generating next month, that's a scary proposition to have. So the problem is traffic, and you need to be able to fix this traffic issue by building a system that'll actually generate you high volumes of qualified traffic on demand, and you have full control over this system. And I'll share a little bit later in this video exactly what this system of traffic looks like, all right? But let's move on to the second big mistake, which is the lack of indoctrination. And by indoctrination, I mean people just simply do not trust you, because without trust, prospects will not buy. Many times, these prospects have been burned in the past by purchasing ineffective solutions, and there's always going to be a bit of scar tissue now that you have to overcome with prospects who've been in the market for a while. And the issue is that a lot of entrepreneurs today don't even try to build that much trust before they go for the call. For example, if you send out a bunch of cold DMs and you just say, hey, I can make you rich, I can make you ripped, book a call with me. Why would someone believe you when especially they're getting like 15 of these messages every single day? And it's not just a problem that people have when they do cold outreach. How many times have you seen an ad on Facebook or an ad on Instagram where someone just says, hey, I can achieve this massive objective for you. All you need to do is click into my ad and schedule a call. It's the same thing, right? You're trying to book a call without having shown really any justification or evidence as to how you're good at what you do. In this situation, people will not book a call with you. Even if they do, they're probably not going to show up to the call, or if they show up in the call, they'll be super skeptical, they'll have a million objections, and it's going to take you forever to actually try to close them because so much selling has to happen on the Zoom call. So if you're listening to this and this reminds you of your own processes, then we're going to have to make a change. You need to be willing to invest more in building out that evidence, building out that content, building out that social proof that gets people to actually think you are an expert in your space. And understand, Today, in the 2020s and beyond, there's so much information online. It's so readily accessible. It's so easy for someone to just go on a Google search or a podcast or a YouTube video and just type in whatever their problem is, and there's going to be a lot of people that are sharing exactly how they can overcome that problem. So if those people can do their own research and find these amazing experts online that can already solve their problem for free, why would they trust you over that person who is already sharing a ton of value? That's why I win deals and potentially you don't. It's because I'm willing to give so much value up front without asking for anything in return, literally giving away the farm with my tutorials and my educational videos. By the time someone actually is trying to find someone to help them with their marketing issues, of course they're going to go with me instead of someone that just pitches them cold online. There's a very efficient way that you can actually do this on your own as well. One that doesn't require you to become an amazing content creator, one that doesn't require you to have a crazy video editing team or create 7,000 pieces of content every single day. There's a very efficient and effective way that I'll be sharing with you later on in this video that'll share with you exactly how you can do this as well. Now, the third big mistake that new entrepreneurs are oftentimes making, which prevents them from scaling, is that they lack a system around appointment setting. Now, what is appointment setting? It's literally just following up with people and getting them to book a call. And the reason why this is important is because the majority of prospects don't actually just book a meeting in your calendar link on their own. I mean, sure, sometimes they will, right? If they see your content and there's a link to your calendar, if they really, really love what it is that you do, they might just book a call without you needing to do any additional work. But the reality is, most people who follow you online, follow you on social media, they're not going to make it that easy. If you have people following you on Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn or email, or if you have their phone number, most of the time, even if they like you, you need to be the one that actually calls them or DMs them and is proactive with actually getting them to book a call. Without doing this, you're probably leaving over 60 to 70% of those potential leads on the table. And I know this for a fact myself because I have so much content, and it would be amazing if people love my content so much that they just booked on their own. But the reality is over 50% of the meetings that I book in my team comes from us actually being proactive and having a direct conversation with that prospect and getting them to actually book in the DMs or over a call. Now, with that being said, the biggest problem that early stage entrepreneurs have is that they either don't do this follow-up at all, maybe they just don't recognize that it's important to actually be proactive and talk to these people and make them book, or they do it all themselves. The CEO is spending 40, 50, 60 hours of their own time every single week DMing or calling to get them actually booked up. And this is really good, right? I respect the hustle, I respect the proactivity, but if the CEO is doing all this work on their own, then where are they going to find time to do sales calls? Where are they going to find time to work on the product or provide fulfillment for their clients or hire new people? This is not a CEO level of activity once you're at the 20K per month mark and above. So this needs to be delegated, this needs to be automated. And if you can do so, you've now built an infrastructure for a scalable business. So those are the three major mistakes. Now, what is the system that actually fixes all of this, right? The system that allows you to have perfect traffic, perfect indoctrination, and perfect setter systems so that you can ultimately scale to 50K or even 100K per month. Well, let's actually talk about this right now. All right, so let's go into my handy little diagram here. As we talked about, a couple stages, right? We want traffic. And then in the second stage, we go to indoctrination, and this is where we build trust. And then from there, we need to set into a call. Right? The purpose is us trying to actually generate sales calls. Without that, why are we even doing this? So let me actually break down how you would do all of this. Let me actually describe this in a separate diagram here. I'm going to not go chronologically. The first one that I actually want to discuss would be indoctrination. And indoctrination is going to be based on YouTube, okay? The reason why YouTube is so amazing is because it's long-form audio and video. Nothing builds more trust than long-form audio and video. And this is the reason why I do it. It's the reason why you're on this video right now. And it's the reason why by the end of this video, you're going to probably think, okay, Lloyd is probably pretty intelligent and probably good at what it is that he does. The other thing about YouTube is that it creates a binging behavior because there's so much content that you could put in YouTube. And once the algorithm understands what it is that you as the viewer likes, then they're just going to continue feeding you more and more and more content. So every time you log back into YouTube, you're just going to see my ugly face in your screen again, and then you're going to be forced to click into it, right? It's amazing. And no other channel really has an algorithm as powerful as YouTube when it comes to just forcing you down this bingeable experience, especially in terms of long form, right? So this is the indoctrination section. Now, the problem with YouTube, and I said this earlier in the video, is that from a traffic perspective, it's really hard to get new eyeballs to your videos. If you wanted to scale this thing just by relying on the algorithm to find you brand new viewers, it's gonna take you probably 6 months to a year before you have any sort of meaningful size of audience. And that's why, from a traffic perspective, we're actually gonna be deploying something else. We're gonna be deploying paid media, or we're going to be deploying outreach, okay? So there's two ways that we can do this. So with outreach, it's pretty simple, right? If you are already sending out cold messages on LinkedIn or Instagram or email, the reason why that doesn't work normally is because you're just cold DMing people and trying to get them to book a call with you when they know nothing about you. And you've also given zero value. Whereas if you were to send outreach, but in the outreach itself, you're also now attaching, hey, I have these videos that I know can help you based on the problems that you're telling me, then you're gonna be able to increase your conversion rate. YouTube is what allows you to actually get that trust in order for them to book a call. Outreach is the way that you can accelerate the speed at which more eyeballs can see your videos, because now you can send it out to 50, 100, 200 people a day without just waiting for YouTube to organically find these audience members. Now, this is something that is free, obviously, outreach, but it's a little bit slower. So if you wanted to make this even faster and you wanted to get significantly more eyeballs to your YouTube videos rather than just waiting for outreach, then this is when you're gonna be using paid traffic. Because with paid traffic, it's gonna be significantly easier for you to get thousands of eyeballs because you can just trade dollars. You can just trade dollars for views, right? And if you're already doing 10K, 20K, 30K per month, you have the capital to spend. You wanna be deploying capital efficiently rather than trading time to try to get those eyeballs. And the beautiful thing about paid media, whether you're using YouTube ads or LinkedIn ads or Instagram ads, is that you're able to actually have hyper targeting. So you can go after your exact audience base. I can go after coaches, consultants, online business owners, target them, give them an ad, and then have that ad push them directly into my content, which ultimately will drive to my YouTube channel, right? And if you wanted examples as to how I could actually use social media ads on LinkedIn or Instagram to drive traffic to YouTube, just look at my social media profiles, right? If you look at my LinkedIn, I have YouTube videos everywhere. And even in my bio, I'm saying literally go to my first video and watch it. Here's all my YouTube content. And once people actually click into this, or if they're engaging with me inside the DMs, I'm just gonna be pushing them directly to my YouTube channel. Same thing on my Instagram, right? If people actually follow me because they saw one of my ads, then they'll just know, hey, free training, click into the link, and this goes to my YouTube channel. And all of these videos, if you were to look at them, they're essentially just minute-long versions of my YouTube videos. And even in the descriptions, I'm saying, hey, just go and watch my YouTube channel because that's actually where you're gonna get the majority of the value. So driving paid ads on LinkedIn or on Instagram, getting people to actually follow my account and then directing them to YouTube, or just using YouTube ads natively to push them directly into my YouTube channel is a great way for me to then get access to my funnel. And this can ultimately be very inexpensive because I'm not trying to actually get people to go to my website and download something, right? That's usually what people do. And it makes sense that it's expensive because LinkedIn and Instagram, they're not incentivized to send people off their platform. They prefer people to stay on their platforms. So when you run ads where you're just trying to get people to follow you on LinkedIn or on Instagram, that's going to be significantly cheaper because you're not really pushing people off the website. And then the content inside your YouTube or inside your Instagram and LinkedIn is totally free. People can consume it as much as they want. You don't need to pay extra for it. They'll binge it. And really, this is where we're building the vast majority of the trust. So now we have the traffic side of the system solved, as well as the indoctrination. The next is the call. We're trying to get as many people from these stages of the funnel into the call as possible. So how do we do this? Well, obviously YouTube itself, we're gonna have some calendar booking links in the description box and telling people to actually go book a call. But the beautiful thing is we also wanna have a setting function, which is essentially us being more proactive and getting people to actually book a call with us instead of waiting for it. So how does this actually work? Well, think about all the conversations in messages. So what is a setting function? Well, a setting function would essentially allow us to maximize the lead flow and the clients that we actually have in our audience base and get them to proactively book a call rather than just waiting for them to book on their own. So here's an example, right? In LinkedIn, someone see my YouTube videos and they might message me or follow me saying, hey, I really like your content that you're creating, right? And now we're in a little bit of a back and forth conversation. And for whatever reason, in this case, Sebastian doesn't just book a meeting on his own. So he wants to have a bit of a conversation, and we can have an appointment setter who can have this back and forth call, who can have this back and forth conversation, and they can ultimately send them a calendar booking link and we can book, right? And also do a bit of discovery just to make sure he's a good fit. And we could do this on LinkedIn. We can do this on Instagram. We can do this on pretty much any channel where there are DMs. And once again, if you think about it, if we're driving paid traffic or we're doing outreach on LinkedIn or Instagram, then we're going to probably need an appointment setter that can either do the booking in the DMs to generate the call, or if the prospect isn't quite ready to jump on a call yet, then we can just send them additional YouTube videos right here in order to get them additionally nurtured. A really good setter can do this. And that way we can maximize nurture, we can maximize call booking. So this entire system can be fully automated, right? Because outreach can be somewhat automated. Paid media can definitely be automated. With YouTube, you actually don't need that many videos. If you want to post every single week, you totally can. I do, because I consider YouTube's a really important part of my strategy. But if you're just driving traffic to the same 3 or 4 YouTube videos and you're consistently getting more and more new traffic to those same videos, and really, as long as those few videos are really good, you actually don't need that much content. And that's the secret of this system. You can reuse and recycle content again and again because you're always getting new eyeballs to see those assets. And the setting system can also be fully automated because this can be delegated to an appointment setter. So the entire system with the traffic and the indoctrination in the setting, when it works, it's just going to continue working even when you're sleeping, even when you're on vacation. And this is what it is that my clients are deploying in order for them to generate the results that they are generating, which once again can be 50K, 100K, even beyond per month. This is really what I'm recommending you to do. I recognize that there's a lot of complexity here. So if this is something that you think you would like to learn a bit more about on your end, how to deploy, then why don't you just book a call with me? You can find my calendar booking link in the description box below. And if you're not necessarily ready for that, then just literally follow me on my social media channels, right? DM me or follow me on my Instagram, do the same thing on my LinkedIn, and we'll have a bit of a conversation with you and you can just ask us some questions. And if you're not ready for that, then just go to my YouTube and watch more videos until you feel as though I'm actually good at what it is that I do. Click on some client testimonials where I've helped so many people achieve amazing results. So with that being said, that's pretty much it for today. Hopefully you're able to get some value out of this video, and I will see you on the other side. Cheers.